Team Cluster Busters. Last day of the competition, last couple of hours of the competition. You got to turn in some code, bro. What is up? What's going on?
We had a bit of trouble with OpenFoam, and so we are basically running the last bit of benchmarking and hoping to get it through before we move on to the surprise challenge.
Define a little trouble with OpenFoam. Getting it to run, the data sets, all the above.
Pretty much everything, yeah.
Really? Now, there is a sign up here that I'm not going to wheel all this stuff around to show up, but saying hacked.
Yeah.
What's that about? Because I heard that some team got hacked somehow. What does that mean?
Like we had the privilege to be hacked.
Well,
Like,
tell us about that. Inquiring
Okay.
minds want to know.
it was, when was it? Tuesday night? Monday night. We were trying to SSH into our cluster, and we were struggling like hell. And we just thought it was the internet that wasn't working. And we came here, tried to SSH into our cluster, and it didn't work. And we go through log files, and we get segmentation faults in the SSH daemon. And we Googled the error, and someone said your system was possibly compromised.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. What
And
we
actually,
then,
note to myself, put in a real sound there. I'll do that. I'll make that work. Okay.
and then what
Compromised system. Holy dog crap.
yeah.
Especially here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gave us public-facing IPs, and we didn't plan on
Wait
that.
a minute. But given the square footage, and it is footage, of internet access at this location, if you were trying to remotely access the system, where were you? At the restaurant?
No,
I mean, were you like just outside the door? You wouldn't walk in to actually sit down?
no, we were at they were closing quite
Yeah,
early.
they closed this early.
Yeah, they closed earlier.
But
so
you can't get onto the net at all unless you're essentially standing outside the door of this place.
no, we could.
You can't from your rooms?
Yeah, from our rooms.
You're rare. Okay, good. So anyway, so you find out that
Yeah.
you've been at. What were they after?
I don't know. It looked like they were port scanning everyone here. So
And they found one that was open.
yeah,
They found one that was not just
And
open, welcoming.
the problem
like a young
is
puppy before it gets trained to be a guard dog. When somebody comes in through that window, licking the hand. It's extending to unlock the door.
the problem is without having a switch to route everything without problems, I have to make everything open as
Sure.
I can.
Well,
And-
but then again, it's just a billion to one shot that they would have been able to guess your passwords. I'm sure it's all password protected, right?
It
There's
was
no way.
password
I mean,
protected.
the brute force they must have applied, or just blind lock.
Okay, I trust people. I really trust the world.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
and they proved me wrong.
So, what was your password then?
Yeah.
you
Okay.
can-
Let
I imagine someone else might want to comment on that. Yeah.
So, hacking is done in movies, obviously. It doesn't happen in real life because hacking is a myth.
No, it does happen in real life. 'cause I
No,
had
not
it
to
happen.
us.
Anyway,
But apparently now it does. So, password was 123 QWE.
Oh no! Say it
1,
loud.
2, 3
say it loud.
QWE.
1, 2, 3 QWE.
Yeah, we weren't expecting anything this extensive, so we were just like, okay, as easy as possible, as fast as possible, quick. Just a little touch of the keyboard,
Well,
and
you had,
we're
you
in.
had all
and
sorts of special characters in there, though, too, right?
no,
Punctuation characters,
No.
exclamation
No,
points.
unfortunately
umlauts,
not.
schwas.
Yeah, because
Things like
hacking is a myth. So
Did you-
we were
did you-
hoping that would stay true, and it
you,
didn't.
Did you even capitalize one of the letters?
No,
No. All
No,
lowercase,
if it ever was capitalized, because we left caps lock on or something like that.
but all capitalized. Okay.
Yeah, so
How far behind did this throw you guys?
2 days worth of work
Did
down the drain.
Did they do something to your system?
Everything. We couldn't trust it anymore. That's the biggest thing. We didn't know what they changed, but we could see evidence of changes there. Things we couldn't do.
Yeah, you can't.
SSHing didn't
Yeah.
work. Restarting some of the services didn't work. So we knew it was compromised. We didn't know what was compromised. We fixed a few things, but decided, okay, it's going to give problems in the long run. Let's just restart the system, reboot. And luckily enough, we had become really familiar with our system.
Oh, sure.
So
Especially when you get
2 hours
to do
system was
something
back
twice.
online,
Yeah.
which was awesome. But
Do you know? Did you do an IP trace? You know where the IP address was of the attack? Do you know where?
China.
Well, they have more than one IP address there.
I don't know
But I'm
exactly
just
from
saying
where,
it because it would be interesting to find out.
but
'cause
it's in the general
I know where the
direction.
student cluster competition schools are there. Maybe they're having a little internal fun. But so you got back on your feet. And
Yes.
what about mistrust within the team? Was there any suspicion this was maybe an inside job? Somebody trying to throw the competition?
Obviously, as soon as something like that happens, that ruins your entire system in a competitions environment. You do start looking at other teams, thinking, how well can these guys hack? Really?
No. I'm
Like-
talking about within your team.
Oh, with our team.
Yeah.
No,
Some
no.
of you guys aren't really.
If it
meeting
was
my
anyone,
eyes
it was
here.
him.
Some of you are kind of making the.
If anyone
I don't
hacked us,
know.
this guy. It was this guy.
That's the one who I.
It was
suspect
him.
right away because he's got that look. You got that look on your face.
Exactly.
You got that whole. I'm hiding a lot here. That's. Just give it up. Give it up. I mean, there. A little more light. Yeah. What do you think? Yeah. But that's rough. But these things happen in these
Yeah.
competitions. I mean, not hacking, and usually better passwords. But you do have problems. But you guys came back from it.
Yes.
Did you get
yes.
your apps all run, or are they in process now?
Sorry, can you ask
Are
the
your,
question
have
again?
your apps rated? Are you turning in stuff?
Yes, we are
Okay.
on our way to turning in now. We are running the final benchmark now that we have chosen to turn in, and then
Okay.
we obviously just have to start with the surprise challenge, the InfiniBand networking. So we want to get that done, get
Yeah.
that started as soon as possible. Then
Probably start with the low-hanging fruit, the
Yeah.
quickest apps.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Good.
And then as soon as we're done and we're confident that we have the ones that are actually that we know are working the benchmarks, we can maybe take another look at the benchmarks that we aren't happy with
optimization
and maybe
run.
optimize those again.
Yeah.
But main priority on getting the InfiniBand set up, getting ourselves happy with it, because obviously now we get a switch instead of our routing the routing structure that we're using
Yeah,
at the moment.
New world.
So
It'll be a new world.
yeah, it's
But I don't
entirely
know,
new
I-
different.
I see where you're going. I think it's a good plan. But myself, I'd probably be more intent on hacking back
Yeah.
whoever the hell got into
We
you.
we considered that.
That would be that
And
would be
then we
manly.
remembered our internet is terrible at certain stages,
Yeah,
so
it's
it
kind of
wasn't
hard to
good
do it. 0.16 megabits per second.
Yes, yes.
From here, and the connection that keeps coming up and down.
Yes.
You're gonna want it, but maybe it's something you send back to some buddies at school, or maybe it's an extra credit project. Going to use all the compute we have. See who did this. Go
Next
catch
time.
the guy in his mom's basement and make his life hell. Right? I think so. That's great. And
Yeah.
actually, maybe get some other teams in on it. They mess with one, they mess with all. Right? Excellent. Well, good job, guys. And that's,
Thanks very much.
That's that's the first time it's ever happened in a competition. So you've made history.
I'm
Excellent.
glad we've made some entertaining bits to this
And
competition.
It's
It
really
was-
entertaining.
It's
Me.
exciting.
I know everybody's liking this. So cluster busters, maybe cluster busted.
Unbusted.
It was busted once though. It's never the same. It's never the same. It's like a car that's been in a rear-ended or in a wreck. It's never the same. You got a little frame bending.
Yeah.
So, but good job to surmount and overcome and all that.
Okay. Thank you very
And
much.
We'll see what we see. You're still in it.
Yes.
As long as you have watts flowing through those systems, you're still in it. Okay? Excellent. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much.